Hello, and welcome to part two. Welcome to part two of the Adventures of Captain Underpants. Let's get started. When Harold bent down to close the file cabinet, he took a quick look inside. Whoa, he cried, look at all this stuff here. The file cabinet was filled with everything Mr. Crumb had taken away from the boys. Over the years. There were slings, shots, whoopee cushions, skateboards, fake doggy doo-doo. You name it, it wasn't there. Look at this, cried George, a big stack of Captain Underpants comics. He's got every issue set, For hours, the two boys sat on the floor, laughing and reading their comics. Finally, George looked down at the clock. Yikes, he said. It's almost lunchtime. We better clean up this mess and get to class. The boys looked up at their principal and had made standing behind them in a trance on one. Gee, I almost forgot about Mr. Crosshair. What should we do? What should we do with him? Do you want to have some fun? Asked George. Why not? Said Harold. I haven't had any fun for the last 4 to 6 weeks. Cool, said George. He walked up to Mr. Crow and snapped his fingers. Snap, you're already checking, he said. Suddenly, Mr. Crow leaped onto his desk, flapped his arms. Click, 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 he cried, kicking his papers off the desk behind him and pecking at his pen and pencil set. George and Harold howled with laughter. Let me try, said Harold. You are a monkey. You gotta snap your fingers, said. You gotta snap your fingers, said George. Oh yeah, said Harold. Snap, you are a monkey. Suddenly, Mr. Crow sprang off his desk and began swinging from the fluorescent light fixtures. Ooh, 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 ooh. He shrieked, leaping and jumping from one side of the room to the other. George and Harold laughed so hard they almost cried. My turn, said George. Let's see, what should we turn into next? I know, said Harold. So let's, holding up a Captain Underpants comic, let's turn to Captain Underpants. Good idea, said George. Snap, you are now the greatest superhero of all time, said the amazing Captain Underpants. Mr. Crook tore down the red curtain from his office window and tied it around his neck. Then he took off his shoes, shirts, and pocket pants, and his awful toupee. Tra-la, he sang. Mr. Crook stood before them, looking quite troubled, with his cape blowing in the breeze of the open window. George and Harold were dumbfounded. He said, George said, he kind of looks like Captain Underpants. Yeah, Harold replied. After a short silence, two boys looked at each other and burst into laughter. George and Harold had never laughed so hard in all their lives. Tears ran down their faces as they rolled about the floor, shrieking in hysterics. After a while, George pulled himself up from the floor. Hey, cried George, where'd he go? Chapter 12, Out the Window. George and Harold dashed to the window and looked out. They're running across the parking lot with a pudgy old guy in his underwear with a red cape flowing behind him. Tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Mr. Crook, come back, said Harold. He won't answer that, said George. He thinks he's Captain Underpants. Oh no, said Harold. He's probably running off to fight crime, said George. Oh no, said Harold. Yeah, you gotta stop him, said George. Oh no, cried Harold. No way. No way. Look, said George. He could get killed out here. Killed out there. Hell was unmoved. Or worse, said George, we could get into big trouble. You're right, said Hal. We gotta go after him. The two boys opened the bottom file cabinet drawer and took out the slingshots and skateboards. Do you think we should bring anything else? Asked George. Yeah, said George. Yeah, said George. Let's bring the fake doggy doodoo. Good thinking, said Hal. You just never know when fake doggy doodoo is going to come in handy. Harold stuffed Mr. Crook's clothes, shoes, and a toupee into his backpack, and together, the two boys leaped out the window, slid down the flagpole, and took off on their skateboards after the amazing Captain Underpants. Chapter 13: Bank robbers. George and Harold. Well, there were skateboards all over town looking for Captain Underpants. I can't find it anywhere, said Harold. You think a guy like him would be easy to spot, said George? The boys turned a corner, and there he was. Captain Underpants was standing in front of the bank looking quite hard. Mr. Crook, cried Harold. Shh, said George. Don't call him that. Call him Captain Underpants. Oh, yeah, said Harold. And don't forget to snap your fingers, said George. Right, said Harold. Ring! But before he got a chance, the bank doors flew wide open, and out stepped two robbers. The robbers took one look at Captain Underpants and stopped dead in their tracks. Surrender, said Captain Underpants. I'll have to resort to wedgie power. Oh no, whispered George and Harold. Nobody moved for about 10 seconds. Finally, the robbers looked at each other, burst out laughing. They dropped in their loot and fell to the sidewalk screaming in hysterics. Almost immediately, the cops showed up and arrested the crooks. Let that be a lesson to you, cried Captain Underpants. Never underestimate the power of underwear. The police chief, looking quite angry, marched over to Captain Underpants. And just who the heck are you? You, cried Captain Underpants. You, cried Captain Underpants. Never underestimate the police chief, looking quite angry, marched over to Captain Underpants. And just who the heck are you supposed to be? The police chief demanded. Why, I'm Captain Underpants, the world's greatest superhero, said Captain Underpants. I fight for truth, justice, and that's all we shrunken Courtney. Oh yeah, said the police chief. Come boys. One of the cops took out his handcuffs and grabbed Captain Underpants by the arm. Uh-oh, cried George. We gotta roll. Together, the two boys zoomed into the crowd, weaving in and out of the cops and bystanders. Harold shaked up to Captain Underpants and knocked the superhero off his feet. George caught him, and the boys skated away with Captain Underpants on their shoulders. Stop! Cried the cops, but it was too late. George and Harold and Captain Underpants were gone. Zoom! Chapter 14: The Big Bang. After their quick escape, George and Harold and Captain Underpants stood on a deserted street corner to catch their breath. Okay, said George, let's dehypnotize him quickly before something else. Kaboom! Happens. A huge explosion from the rare crystal shop across the street. A huge explosion came from the rare crystal shop across the street. Heavy smoke poured out of the building. Suddenly, two robots with one stolen crystal emerged from the smoke and jumped into an old truck. Did I just see two robots get into a truck? Asked Allie. You know, said George, up until now, this story was almost believable. Well, believable or not, said we're not getting involved. I repeat, we are not getting involved. Justin and Captain Underpants leaped from the street corner and dashed in the front of the truck. Stop in the name of underwear, he cried. Uh-oh, said George. I think we're involved. The robbers started up the truck and swerved around Captain Underpants. Unfortunately, the truck brushed up against his red key, and it got caught with a mighty jerk. Captain Underpants went backward, and the truck pulled him along as it drove away. Grab him! Grab him! Cried George. The two boys skateboarded with all their might toward the speeding truck and grabbed Captain Underpants by the ankles. Help! They cried as the truck pulled them through the city streets. Mommy, said the little boy sitting on the bench, I just saw two robots driving a truck with a guy in his underwear hanging off by the back of a red cape, holding two boys on skateboards behind him with his feet. How do you expect me to believe such a ridiculous story? Asked his mom. Tabloid Times. Bigfoot gives birth to 200-pound UFO baby. Screech! Finally, the truck came to a screeching halt in front of an old abandoned warehouse. As soon as it stopped, Captain Underpants slip over the roof of the truck and crash through the front door of the building. Well, said a strange voice from inside the warehouse. It looks as if we have a visitor. Crash. Chapter 15. Dr. Diaper. George and Hannah hid behind the truck until the coast was clear. Then they sneaked up into the hall in the door and peeked inside. Captain Underpants was all tied up. The two robots were standing guard, and a strange little man wearing a diaper was laughing maniacally. I am the evil Dr. Diaper, the strange little man told Captain Underpants, and you will be the first to witness my takeover of the world. Dr. Diaper placed the silver crystal into a large machine called the Laser Mag 2000. The machine started to light up and make loud noises. Heavy gears began shifting and spinning, and a laser beam from the crystal shot straight up through a hole in the roof. In exactly 20 minutes, this laser beam will blow off the moon and send huge chunks of it crashing down upon every major city in the world, laughed Dr. Diaper. Then I will rise from the rubble and take over the planet. Only one thing can help us now, said George. What? Asked Harold. Rubber doggy doo-doo, said George. Harold took the fake doggy doo-doo and a slingshot from George's backpack and handed them to him. Be careful, said Harold. The fate of the entire planet is in your hands. With careful arm, Pierce and George shot the rubber doo-doo through the air and across the moon. It landed with a plop. Right at the feet of Dr. Diaper. Yes, whispered George and Harold. Dr. Diaper looked down at the doo-doo between his feet and turned bright red. Oh dear me, he cried. I'm dreadfully embarrassed. Please excuse me. He began to walk toward the restroom. This has never happened to me before. I assure you. He said, I guess with all the fire, I just, oh dear. Blah. While Dr. Diaper was off changing himself, George and Harold sneaked into the old warehouse. Immediately, the robots detected the boys and began marching toward them. Destroy the intruders, said the robots. Destroy the intruders. George and Harold screamed and ran to the back of the warehouse. Luckily, George found two old boards and gave one of them to Harold. We're not going to have to resort to incredible graphic violence, all right? He said, I sure hope not, said George. Chapter 16, the incredibly graphic violence character in football armor. Warning, the following chapter contains graphic scenes showing two boys being the tar out of a couple robots. If you have high blood pressure or if you want to vent the silent motor oil, we strongly urge you to take better care of yourself and stop being such a baby. As everybody knows, nothing entrances enhances silly action sequence more than really cheesy animation. And so far, for the first time in the history of great literature, he proudly bring you the latest cheesy animation technology, the art of Flipperama. Robot Rampage. George says hero. Which is a favor. Makes sense in my Chapter 17, the escape. After defeating the robots, George and Hal untie Captain Underpants. Come on, cried Hal. Let's get out of here. Wait, said Captain Underpants. We have to save the world first. So George, Hal, and Captain Underpants frantically looked all over the Laser Mag 2000, searching for a way to shut it down and stop the inevitable disaster. So I think this might be the lever we want. He pulled the self-destruct lever with all his might. Suddenly, the Laser Mag 2000 began to spin and shoot. The huge laser beam turned off and pieces of the machine began flying off in all directions. It's gonna blow, cried, run for your lives. Not so fast, screamed Dr. Dyer, who had appeared out of nowhere. You demolished my robots, you destroyed my Laser Mag 2000, and ruined my one chance to take over the world. But you won't live to tell that tale. Dr. Dyer pulled out his Laser Mag 2000 ray gun and pointed at George Hale and Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants quickly stretched a pair of underwear and shot at Dr. Dyer. The underwear landed around the evil doctor said, "Help!" cried Dr. Dyer. I can't see. Stretch. Snap. George and Hal ran out of the warehouse as fast as they could. Great shot, Captain Underpants screamed. There's just one thing I don't get, Captain said. George, where'd you get the extra pair of underwear? What extra pair? Said Captain Underpants. Wham! Never mind that, cried George. Let's just get out of here before that Laser Mag 2000 theme boom explodes. The Laser Mag 2000 blew up, tearing apart the old warehouse. It sent flaming charge of red-hot metal in every direction. Fire fell from the skies around our heels, and the earth began to crumble beneath their feet. Oh no, cried Hal, we're doomed. Boom. Chapter 18, to make a long story short, they got away. Chapter 19, back to school. George, Hal, and Captain Underpants made a quick stop outside the police station. They tied Dr. Dyer to a lamp post and attached a note to him. There, said Captain Underpants. That was to explain everything. Arrest me, please. Back in 15 minutes. Please don't commit any crimes at all till we return. Thank you. Then George and Al led Captain Underpants back to Jerome Woods Elementary School. Why are we going here? Asked Captain Underpants. Well, so George, you've got to do some undercover work here. Yes, Harold, put these clothes. Harold said, reaching into his backpack. Put these clothes on and make it snappy. Don't forget your hair, said George. Captain Underpants quickly got dressed behind some bushes. Well, how do I look? He asked. Pretty good, said George. Now trying to look really mad. Captain Underpants made the nastiest face he could. You know, said Harold. He kind of looks like Mr. Crow. Harold, whispered George. He is Mr. Crow. Oh yeah, said Harold. I almost forgot. Before long, they were all back inside Mr. Crow's office. Okay, Captain Underpants, said George. You are now Mr. Crow. Snap your fingers, Mr. Harold. Oh yeah, said George. Snap. You are now Mr. Crow. Who's Mr. Crow? asked Captain Underpants. Oh no, cried Harold. It's not working. The boys tried again and again to dehypnotize Captain Underpants, but nothing seemed to work. So let me see the instruction manual for that ring. George checked his pants pockets. Said George, I think I lost it. You what? Cried Hal. The two boys searched frantically through the room, the office, but the three-hidden instruction manual was nowhere to be found. Never mind, said George. I have an idea. He removed the files from a large vase in the corner. Then he poured under Captain Underpants' head. What did you do that for? Cried Hal. I saw him do this in a cartoon once, said George. So it's gotta work. After a few minutes, Mr. Crunch slowly came to. What's going on here? He demanded. And why am I all wet? George and Hal had never been so glad to see Mr. Crunch, and young Larry was glad. I'm sorry I could cry, said Hal. Well, you're gonna cry when I give that videotape to the football team, shouted Mr. Crump. I've had it with you too. Principal Crump took the videotape out of his file cabinet. You boys are dead. Me, he sneered. He stomped out of his office with the videotape and headed toward the gym. George and Hal smiled. Wait, well, the football team sees the video. So, yeah, said George. I sure hope they like singing Purple Dragons. Hey, look, said George. I found the 3 hypnogram instruction manual. It was in my shirt pocket, not my pants pocket. Well, throw the thing away, said Hal. We'll never need it again. I sure hope not, said George. Warning, whatever you do, don't pour water on anybody's head when they are in trance. This will cause the hypnotized person to slip back and forth from trance to reality whenever they hear the sound of fingers snapping. Chapter 20 begin. Things at Jordan Woods Elementary School were never quite the same after that fateful day. The football team enjoyed Mr. Crunch's video so much that they changed their name from the Knuckleheads to the Purple Sing-Along Dragon Friends. The name change didn't go over too well with the fans, but hey, who's gonna argue with a bunch of linebackers? La 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 la, we love Boomer, la la. George and Hal went back to their old ways, pulling pranks, cracking jokes, and making new comic books. They had to keep an eye on Mr. Crook, though, because for some strange reason, every time he heard the sound of snapping fingers, snap, Principal Crook turned back into snap, snap. You know who? Oh no, cried Hal. Here we go again, said George. Try along. The origin of Captain Underpants. Dave Pilkey created Captain Underpants when he was 8 years old. It all happened back in 1974 when Dave was a second grader at St. John Lutheran School in El Ryan, Ohio. It might not be surprised, that Dave Pilkey was a class clown back in second grade. He was also the class artist. Whenever Dave got a chance, he would draw funny pictures to make his friends laugh. Dave also folded sheets of paper in half to make his own flip-arounds, which accept the ridiculous scenes of mayhem. He and his friends called them flip actions back then. Like George and Hal, Dave Pilkey even made his own original comic books. All these things were seen as great distractions and annoyances by Dave's cantankerous teacher, Miss River. Not her real name. It was this very teacher, however, who inadvertently gave Dave the idea for Captain Underpants. One day, Miss River was talking to the class, and she happened to use the word underwear. Everyone in Dave's class immediately began to laugh. This irritated Dave's teacher, and she got very angry. She scolded to the children, shouting, "Ha ha 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 ha, tee hee ha 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 ha, hee hee ha." Underwear is not funny! This only made the class laugh even harder. At that moment, Dave Pilkey had an epiphany. He realized that underwear was a very powerful thing. Just the mere mention of it could make everyone laugh. That day, Dave Pilkey drew his very first drawing of a cute hero named Captain Underpants. Dave's drawing was an immediate hit with his classmates. Miss Ribble, however, was not amused. She immediately tore up Dave's drawings and sent them out in the hallway. Ha 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 ha. Zoing. Dave Pilkey was no stranger to spending time in the hallway. In the second grade, Dave got banished to the hallway almost every day. Usually, he spent this time sneaking up down the corridors, changing letters on all the bulletin boards around so they spelled out, Master Pilkey, out! Ridiculous things. It wasn't long before Miss Ribble got wise to Dave's hallway shenanigans, and she moved his spare desk out there so he would stay put. Usually Dave drew silly pictures while he sat in the hallway desk, but on the day of Dave's great epiphany, he was inspired. He began making a comic about about his underwear-clad hero, Captain Underpants, limited extras on the pages. Of Dave's story. Defeating terrible monsters, rescuing innocent children, and saving the world in crazy flip action scenes. When Dave was finally allowed back into the classroom, he brought the comic book in with him. It didn't take long before Captain Underpants' first adventure began constant outbursts of laughter and hysteria. Miss Ribble seized Dave's comic, ripped it up, and told him he better straighten up. You can't spend the rest of your life making silly books, she told him. That despite this teacher's admonitions, Dave Pilkey did indeed continue making silly books. In fact, Dave got his very first silly book published when he was still in college. After he graduated, Dave wrote and illustrated many more silly books about dogs, cats, mice, dragons, and dumb bunnies. When he wasn't making books, Dave visited hundreds of schools and lived in libraries and talked with children about his experiences as an author. Every time Dave spoke, he would draw a giant picture of Captain Underpants, which made the children laugh hysterically. At the end of his presentations, kids would always ask Dave the same question: Are you ever going to make a book about Captain Underpants? I don't know, Dave replied. Do you think I should? The answer was always a resounding, roof-raising scream of yes! So in 1996, Dave Pilkey began writing and drawing the book you are holding in your hands right now. Dave wanted to include as much of his own childhood as possible in the book, so he based George and Harold on himself. Like Dave, George and Harold are always the class clowns. George and Harold are the class clowns and class artists. They make comics and they switch letters around signs, and they are always getting in trouble with their teachers and principal for one thing or another. And of course, their action scenes are always presented in flip around. Well, guys, this is the end of part 2. Tomorrow, I will be reading Attack of the Talking Toilets. See you tomorrow for Attack of the Talking Toilets. Bye.